Okay, it's 4:02, and we're gonna start the Town of Sangerville Select Board meeting, Wednesday, December 28th, 2022. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 2, approval of the minutes, Select Board meeting 12/7/2022.
I make a motion to approve this both A and B.
All in favor? We're all three in favor. Special Select Board meeting minutes 12/12/2022.
Oh, I'll make a motion to approve special board minutes, special board meeting minutes.
Easy for you to say. We all are in favor. Item 3, review of treasurer's warrants, payroll 103, 104, 105, 107, and accounts payable 102 and 106.
Make a motion for A and B is read.
Second?
All in favor? We're all three in favor. Open session, we have guests. Did anybody want to speak today?
We actually have one right there.
Okay. All right. I guess not. I guess
Yeah,
we're
no,
good.
we're gonna.
We're gonna speak, you're on the agenda further down.
Yeah.
Yep. Old Town Business, Town Hall Building, meet with Nick Waite regarding town office building.
Yeah, I met with him last week,
Uh-huh.
and he likes the infrastructure of the building, because you could
The
actually.
Public Works building.
The Public Works
Yeah.
building, because you could actually put a new floor in, and it wouldn't, because of the height of the ceiling. So he's gonna come up with sometime, a couple drawings, a
Okay.
couple different, things, and we did mention a drive-through as well.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
I've run that by a few people and the response has been very positive,
yes.
so.
Yeah, especially for our elderly community. They
Yeah.
would love the fact that they could just go and drive up
Yep.
and be waited on at a window.
And you know, we can only wait on one person at a time anyway.
Right, so either be at the drive-through or
Yeah.
window,
Right,
so.
right.
The other thing about that building, it'd be interesting in his perspective, but we wanted to put together a proposal with a meeting area that would allow for town meeting or voting. And so we could expand into that building however deep he thought we needed to, and he could give us a price with and without.
Right, and that's what we talked about.
So that would-
Yeah, we talked about all of
Yeah.
that, so.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
What, did he give you kind of a
No, he's
timeline?
he's gonna give me some drawings, and he's gonna meet with me again next week and provide us some drawings the week of the 9th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to fund this in the current year?
We should be able to. I'm gonna talk to him, get a dollar amount, and also talk with the auditors, because there's a list that I have to give the auditors when they
Okay.
come in for money that's gonna be spent in the previous year, which this
Yeah.
is part of that.
Okay. Anything else?
Someone's gotta check this week, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be written this week in order to,
No.
No, I don't pay, some bills I don't pay until January, that I can go back into the previous year and it's, yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
But it's
so
out
we're
of this
good.
budget.
It's out of this
This budget
budget,
cycle.
it's out of this budget.
However you
It's
work
due-
that.
Yep,
Yep.
yep, yep. It will be out of this budget cycle.
Anything else on that? No? No? Now we're to you guys. Item 6 is consolidation of the Guilford Sangerville Water and Sanitary District. Brad Dean and Jeff Libby are here.
So I'm Brad Dean, he's also from Guilford. I'm the chairman of the sanitary district, Jeff is the chairman of the water district. There is, I don't know if you know anything about what's been going on, but there's an effort.
I have to tell you, I thought you guys were already, I thought it was one entity already, so that's how little I know about it.
No, but, there's an effort underway to consolidate the two districts and, I guess for lack of a better name, become Guilford Sangerville Utility District. There's some cost savings. Some of the cost savings come from reduced personnel, which I don't know if we're unanimous that we think we can get by with reduced personnel, but we won't know unless we try. And this is a legislative effort. It has to go to the legislature to, they don't call the bill, what do they call it? I don't remember. Anyway, it has to go to, approved by the legislature and.
The state legislature?
Charter?
State.
Oh, it's a charter.
Same idea as the hospital.
Yeah. So
So-
you have to change the charter or?
Well, No, we need a new charter.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the sanitary district is under a legislature charter, so that has to be resolved. I don't know about the water district. So we're in the process of that. The state senator representing this area, Stacy, whatever her last name is
Yeah.
gonna put a bill in the end of the month, and we're here to talk about it, answer any questions, and we are looking for your support, a letter of support that will go to the legislature.
So both of you support this merger?
Both the districts had to, both the trustees had to vote on it. All of the trustees, and I don't know if you know, there's 3 trustees from Guilford and 3 trustees from Sangerville on both boards. All of the trustees of the sanitary district voted for it. 2 of them on the water side are skeptical about this. I'm not 100% sure why. Things aren't getting any better in the 2 towns. We're a poor area, and we feel and others feel that this is the right move to make to try to save money.
Is your charter, do you have a website or?
No.
No. I just think that reading the charter would be a good place to start for us. I'd like to see a copy of it.
I think all it is, as far as the sanitary district, is just an act to enable the district.
Yeah, Dale mentioned the hospital. That charter was really kind of fascinating to read it, what it took to make the changes. So I would just be curious.
But the water district must have a charter as well.
I don't know what they got, but we have to go through this charter process, which, when they write the charter out, it gives us all the rights and benefits that you could possibly have.
Protections.
As 2 entities. Books have to be kept separate, that's one of the things. But, like Brad has alluded to, things in town with the mills dropping off, well, that's a big effect of the water district, and it's be a big change if they don't get the flow down to the sewer district. But also for the towns, is it could be a reduction to the town itself as far as what you pay for hydrant rental fees. So what we're trying to do is, instead of the water fees keep creeping up, we're trying to keep a level playing for a while, so we don't have to keep raising rates in either place. There's only so much, just like towns, there's only so much money. It's gonna cost you X to run it. You're gonna get it from the people that are left. Both towns, you don't have a lot of personnel. So, I believe, Brad believes that this is a good thing. It's gonna save some money. We've had some studies saying up to $187,000, and some down to 100. But it's gonna all depend on your year. If we can do it with 3 people on the ground and 2 in the office, that's great. But there may be that year, something bad happens, we have to hire a couple contractors to help us get over the hump. So that 100 and something you might made that year might drop down a little bit, so it's gonna fluctuate. But as a whole, I think we'll be more efficient, we'll be able to service both towns better, and you'll have a common path, you'll have a leader that leads both entities, and I think you'll be more efficient before that.
How is that leader selected? Is it do they run for that office locally, or how does that happen?
So, bottom line, everybody's gonna have to apply for the job, so there's gonna be X amount of openings, you got your employees in place, they'll apply for the job. I'm pretty sure we have somebody that's in-house right now that's capable of doing both, but everybody will have to apply. So you got a manager at the water, you got a manager at the sewers district plant, and we'll have to go from there.
So it's gonna be
But who will select it?
completely repopulated, maybe by the same
Because it's a
Personnel.
different identity.
different identity.
We have been told, we're working with Maine Rural Water, because they know how to do the process. We don't, especially the legislature process. And we have been told that the legislature will not approve equal representation. Now it's equal, Guilford and Sangerville are on an equal basis, and it will go by population. It will probably be, we can recommend whatever. It will probably be a 5-person board, and it'll be 3 from Guilford and 2 from Sangerville. It's like every other board, the school board went that way, every other board is, the legislature won't approve in any other way. we've been told.
But those will be
So-
elected by the select board.
Yeah.
Or
Appointed.
or appointed, either or, is what, either or, however we set it up.
That's what I'm saying, the water district has to have a charter. Because where you're appointed now, your board members appointed by the towns.
Right.
So that's why you are, is because you have a charter that says that's what we have to do. So,
Well, we have bylaws,
but I bet you have a charter.
we will look, and
Yeah.
we'll find out.
So it's the chairman, for lack of a better term, is he or she selected by that board that you referenced?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the chairman, I've been the chairman of the sanitary district for 25 years or whatever, and it's you're elected.
Okay, that's what I, yeah.
I
What's
don't
our,
know if I
what's our
mentioned it,
charter?
both, I am and Jeff is both on both boards. So, we're not, I'm on the water board and the sanitary board as well as Jeff is.
And
We're
what-
the only two that are.
Okay. You may have said, but our time frame, as far as when you're hoping to,
Well, this kind of come about suddenly last week in that we had Jeff and I had a webinar with two people from Maine Rural Water, and it's mentioned that we are concerned about the mill, what's gonna happen to the textile plant, and they said, well, we'll put it in as an emergency legislation, which I don't know if it's gonna gain us anything or not, but that's what they wanted to
Yeah, it
do.
will.
So, that's why it's kind of all of a sudden.
So that loss of revenue is a concern, is that when you say?
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't know just what percent it is on the water side, but it's about 45% on the sanitary side.
wow.
So, it's a huge
Is that mill
impact.
closing?
And
Oh,
that
then
would
why
get-
is that changing?
That would get passed on.
Speculation.
Rumors have to.
Rumors, but it doesn't matter, the works, even
It
if
needs to be done one
it
way.
needs
or
to be
another.
done, it actually,
There's a vulnerability
it's been in the
there.
works, it's been talked about for years, and there's always been a reluctance on some of the board members on the water district side to go that route. And like I said, I don't know why. And I will tell you that, and I think I mentioned that two of the board members from Sangerville are skeptical about it. And I think one of them in particular is because Sangerville's not gonna have equal say afterwards.
Because we
Well, I
have
don't-
less of a population. Our
That's right.
population is
That's
less.
right, less of a population.
We have parity right now.
Oh, yeah,
We're being asked to give that up, so I
Yeah.
can see where
yeah.
our guys would say, why, you know,
It's close, the populations are close.
yeah, well,
So
particularly if the mill went away.
legislature might grant it, you know, 3.
Well, and as far as the income, it's probably like 75-25, Guilford versus Sangerville, but it's not done on the income or
The revenue.
the rate
side.
payers. It's on the population of the towns.
It may not have anything to do with this, but you guys might know the answer to this. We're getting close to budget season. One of the biggest line items for the little town of Sangerville is our hydrant fee. If we shut half the hydrants off, does our bill go down, or are you just gonna have a higher fee process?
Based on your tax base.
Okay, it's how you run the water district, that's all.
Like Guilford, I mean, we get stuck with a pretty good bill. It did go down this past year when we readjusted our rates, it went down a little bit. So you sure saw a reduction in your.
Hydrant fee?
In your hydrant.
But essentially, it's a way of underwriting the water district and passing those taxes to everybody, even the people who don't use it.
Right, so the next process, we get through the charter process, the charter will go back to the boards, to joint boards at that point in time to review, see how they like the charter. After that, we need to get out in the public, either have a public meeting, so everybody come together and see what we're doing, ask more questions. And the bottom line is, at the end of the day, both towns have to vote on it, not just the people within the district. Everybody in both towns have to vote. If one town says yes and one town says no, it's done. And I think that's some of the reluctance of some of the board members, because we have to put money up front. You know, it costs money to secure a bond, do this charter. We have to have something else. Have to have somebody go through all the deeds and all that stuff and bring all that stuff in. So there's some money we gotta put out there, and I think a couple of the members who were reluctant, okay, we're gonna put all this money out, but what if it doesn't get voted in, we put all that money out. Doesn't mean we can't try again, but for it to pass and to consolidate, both towns have to be, you know, approved with it.
There's no way you could do your workshops to get your information out to the people and figure out a way to word your question and do your vote first?
Well, we need to have a public hearing
Yes.
to begin with, and we can certainly have a straw vote at a public hearing, anytime, I guess.
And maybe Water's gonna assist us with that, with the meetings and stuff. We're not the first ones to do it, it's a bunch of people are already consolidating it. It's a cost savings to everybody. You know, like me, town of Guilford, you figure if I wanna buy a house, the house is 300, add another $100 and some odd dollars for insurance, another $100 and some odd dollars for this, and then your water sewer bill, that's adding another $100 onto your mortgage payment in a way, if you wanna think about the water sewer bill. So if I could buy a house in town for $100,000 with a $700 payment, and I gotta go out of town, buy a house for $200,000 for $700. So we need to keep our towns growing too, instead of people moving to the outskirts, so.
Well, that's one thing about Sangerville, when you go for a vote, most of the people that go to our town meetings are people that aren't in the
Yeah.
district, as far as the water is. So you wanna think about how you're gonna approach that type of a crowd, or how.
It isn't a vote at a town meeting.
It's not.
It's a regular,
It's a regular, like an election vote.
it has to be done.
Oh,
Oh,
So we're probably
Secret
talking,
ballot.
probably talking a year to do it all.
wow.
Yeah,
We've been talking
We
about
can-
this
oh,
for 2
so it
years
happens
now.
during
We can-
one of the elections.
Elections.
Aha.
we can also possibly do it next spring because the school budget has to be done by a vote. We can do it at the same time as that. We're looking not to incur any more expense than has to be incurred. So,
But your example of the $300,000 house in Sangerville, the person who's in the country is picking up, that's a $500,000 for him
Yeah.
or her.
Yeah.
So you put that on 300 grand, everybody's carrying the water, so to speak.
Right.
So I don't even, maybe that's a chance to revisit that structure, but,
well, back up to the hydrant. We, by PUC rules, we're required on the water side to have 30% of our income from public fire protection.
okay.
So-
Yep,
If we spend less, you don't have to pay so much.
right.
So that's something to make sure to put out there, because I don't think anybody really knows that.
Yeah,
they
no,
don't.
no one knows
Nobody's,
that.
because I know, and for us, that's always a budgetary item.
That's right,
Everybody complains every year about hydrants.
yeah.
So, but that's a pretty good explanation to why you're paying it. Nobody knows that.
Yeah, the fee's really, it's just a mechanism to fund the organization, I get that.
Right, but it's a
Right.
mandatory, man.
Well,
Yes,
it's
it is.
Right.
That makes a difference.
If you're gonna have to.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
because of the public fire protection, now your fire insurance, homeowners insurance is cheaper. So,
Yeah, certainly a bit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But they're all, they're expenses we have to have a community.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I do think, if your Sangerville representatives are outspoken against this, it could be a slog. I haven't spoken to either one of them, but,
well, there's three of them.
all right,
But there's there's
Yeah.
actually 6 of them.
right,
Between the two.
yeah.
There's 3 sanitary district ones and 3 water district ones.
I'm sure we'll get to meet with them as this process goes on. This is the first we've heard of it.
Right, well, like I say, we're gonna have to have a public forum
Yep.
to, get everybody involved. What we'd like to have, if you guys are willing, is we'd like to have a letter, saying, basically, we kinda have your approval that if you like the idea, you're not voting on it or saying,
You support.
You're all in
you
for it.
We support the concept.
You support.
you support the concept of, and we gotta go to Guilford Tuesday night. And I've kept them a little bit more updated over there, but now the process is, we've really voted on doing it, and both boards have voted on doing it. Like I say, we've been 2 years talking about this in-house, both houses. We've met together as a group, we've met with Maine Rural Water as a group together, and the boards all ask questions from Maine Rural Water. What's it gonna take, what are we gonna do, what's the cost? And I think that's something to hang up, what is the cost? But we've done some work since then, the cost that might be like 100,000, really only maybe 20,000, so we've been doing a lot of homework, so. And the other two members have also said, if the money is there, the savings are there, they're for it. There's just some of those numbers right now, there's nobody's gonna tell you how much it costs the lawyers to go through all the deeds
Right.
and all that stuff together. You know, that's bond counsel, a
Well,
tall
we
deal.
got a quote.
Yeah, got bond counsel that they thought was to be like 70,000, it's way down now.
It's like 9.
Yeah, and so, they said, you know, that was some of the scary things there. They said if the cost savings are there, they're for it. They understand that we need to protect, they're there to protect the ratepayers. And, so.
Good.
Skepticism comes with not knowing all the.
Right,
Yep.
right.
The savings certainly are way higher than the cost. The cost is a one-time.
I would say it's a one-time thing, so.
Yeah.
It's a one-time thing.
So right now, we are operating with the 3 people on the ground, because we've had some nutrition. So we have 3 people on the ground and a clerical and a half. And that's what the 187, between 150, 187 was based on.
So we're actually in the situation where we're gonna find out if this works in a few months. Which we feel it can.
But like
It's
right now,
cooperation.
yeah, but right now you're trying it separately. Whereas if you was one, you,
No,
Well,
they're both working.
they're both
together.
working together now? Yeah.
Well, they have to because they can't get it done otherwise. So
So
we're
we
gonna
have-
find out if this works.
Kind of a dry run.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which,
Huh.
In 3 weeks in what?
this, it actually been talked about for more than the 2 years. Because
I was talking about
five,
both boards.
yeah,
meeting,
both boards actually, like 5 years, 6 years ago, the personnel was all, at least over half of them were all the 60-year-old mark, so they're gonna be gone, so it'd be a time to do this. Well, they laughed, it didn't happen, whatever, so.
Right, well, I think this is a good start. Any information you have for us, just get it to Lorna, she'll get it to
We'll
us.
get the charters for
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, and any
the
updates?
organizational,
And we'll reach out to our representatives and maybe they'll come in and talk to us, we'll get that dialogue started.
well, you don't, but it's, you don't have to do, all we're looking for is a letter of support that
Yep.
we can take to the legislature.
Yep,
And
Okay,
okay,
okay. Yep.
all right.
very good, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're not being rude by the way.
No, no.
No, you're
No.
at all.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
You too, thank you.
Okay, under new business, B, tree growth penalty supplemental tax.
Yes, this person's removing their tree growth going forward, so here's the penalty. $4,072.
We don't have to, we just sign it. We
You
don't
just
have
sign
to
it and then,
make a
no,
motion
and
or
then,
anything.
no. I'll send
Then
it.
Hamlin's works their magic.
I'll send it, okay, I'll send it Bill tomorrow.
Along those same lines, did we ever get it?
So those other tree growths, so
Right.
when speaking to Josh, there's a new law, it's a new law, so every, like 30 days or so, he has to send out these notices. So this was kind of the first batch. He said to hold off because people are actually responding to it. If he has any issues at the end, then he'll send it to us, but right now, let's hold off, he said. But it is a new law, that's why you've never seen it before.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
the answer to that.
I'm pretty sure people take care of that.
yes.
Town manager report, we're gonna be closed on Friday, December 30th, for the end of the year process.
Yeah, just at noon, we're closing at noon.
Okay.
And so we can do the year-end process.
And then
So
Monday's the actual holiday.
Monday
for
will be,
us.
yes,
Yep.
we'll be closed Monday as well.
Through Monday.
Yes.
I've noticed it's all been on the webpage, it looks good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
calendar's updated.
yeah, no, it looks,
And actually, I put it on the answer machine now too.
Oh, there you go.
So I can update the answer machine because right now we're closed, but yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So,
road commissioners report, road issues because of the storm this past weekend, Gray Road, Bean Hill, Brockway Mills, etc.
yeah, Gray Road had some washout. They brought out some gravel. Bean Hill, same thing. Brockway was just a tree down, but they cut enough so that, but we moving it so that the plows can do that. But we didn't have too many complaints. Those was free. We did look at Flanders. Flanders wasn't as bad as it has been in the past, but it's definitely an issue that will have to, some of these issues are gonna have to be addressed in the springtime. What to do to stop the water from going across the road so bad, but we fared fairly well compared to other
Something's
communities.
gotta be done on Silver's Mills.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah,
not good right now.
Did you have any,
Yeah, I talked to Chris. I mean, the landowner needs to dig a trench, bottom line, and redirect the water, but there's no reason why we can't put gravel at the beginning of his driveway and direct it into the ditch. He's gonna get a hump, but there's a foot of ice right now.
Yikes. And it's out onto the road.
Covers both lanes. It's a foot on that side, and it's got ruts like that in there. from where it
you
melted.
get 2 inches of rain coming here in the next 10
Yeah,
days?
I mean,
yeah, Chris mentioned putting a hump there.
It's bad.
Gravel, and I guess it's,
The problem is, I don't know what the guy clears his yard with, but
I would have a conversation with the landowner and say, hey, this is your property. And what it is they put all that gravel in, I forgot about that, they put all that gravel in last year. So that driveway only used to be 2 car lengths. They put the gravel all the way to the top, so now that's all that one length.
The new landowner, the new.
Nope.
no,
Not
the
old
previous
landowner.
Okay,
landowner before
okay.
he sold.
That's
Yeah,
why
it's
Before he
preferential
sold
sales.
it.
Yeah.
Before he sold
yeah,
it.
but it's the
As
current.
improvement to sell it, do you think?
Well,
or-
no, because at the time, they weren't planning on selling it.
Oh.
They just did it as an improvement, because he had a building up back, and so he
Okay.
wanted to be able to park all the way to that.
Oh, so
So what
that's
that
what
did, that's
caused-
created a runway now for all the water coming off that hill, just goes right
I was
straight
gonna say,
down the
yeah,
driveway.
because it was never like that before.
So,
Is the new landowner using that area? That.
straight up, period, and go straight in.
Oh.
But, I mean, they could easily dig something up at the top and redirect it so it didn't come down, which, I mean, to me, their whole driveway's covered in ice, just like the
Right,
road is.
right, right. So they come down their driveway and right onto the.
But, well, as long as you turn towards town, it's all right, because all the ice is going the other direction, towards me.
Yikes.
Woodsdale.
And I'm telling you, the way, when I was talking to Chris, I said, I hate to say this, I said, but will you go dig Silver's Mills back up? And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, the whole time you did that, I had no traffic, and everybody went slow. I
Yep,
said, now the road's done, I said, everybody's back at it.
yep. And now they're going fast, right past your house.
Well, it isn't even that, I went to town the other night, and where that transition is, that person was doing like 70, and I know they didn't touch the ground. That was just a nice speed ramp right there, so, same deal, I mean, if somebody, they're not slowing down going by there. All that ice in the road, it's
Yeah.
gonna be bad.
I talked to Lorna earlier this week about another case, this is on my road. And in this instance, we knew that the landowner, or at least renters of the landowner, had filled the culvert, either deliberately or carelessly, but they filled it. And you had spoken to them this summer, and they got out with a spade and kind of messed with it a little bit, but we didn't anticipate what was gonna happen this winter, and we got the same thing you're describing, is this ice dam now is moving out. So in hindsight, we should have just said, you either fix it by Wednesday or we're fixing it and sending you the bill.
Uh-huh.
But we shouldn't have had them fix it anyway.
But, well,
It's our road.
the bottom line is we couldn't leave it that way.
No, we should've just fixed it.
Yeah.
Period.
So
Because you can't have anybody working on the town way.
I think this actually is their property, but it is the driveway culvert.
That's ours.
Yeah, we're responsible for
For
protecting the road.
Yeah.
But I mean, they supposedly do the first one, and our ordinance says they do the first one, we do the second one, or how?
Right.
We do all
We do
other,
all.
they only do the first one.
They do the first
And-
one.
and we do
this
the
was the first one.
It was the first one.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's an old culvert that they plugged,
No, that's what I'm saying.
But I.
So
The
then
culvert
it's-
was there.
so we
so-
could have taken it out.
Yeah, or replaced it, yeah. One longer, or whatever.
Yeah, but then isn't it on our dime or his dime?
It's our dime.
So he just keeps refilling it.
There's gotta be a way, so we had this in East Sangerville too. If people are maliciously damaging, which is in turn town property, why, even if you gotta go to small claims court, there's gotta be a mechanism
There's
to get that money back,
an email has gone out.
so.
Yeah,
For
well, this
that
was
same
the
thing,
upshot,
yeah,
is,
yeah.
she's gonna check with MMA, it probably is small claims court, I'm not sure. Now, this situation sounds a little different in that you'd have to go onto the landowner's property in order to remedy this. It sounds like you're,
The correct way,
yeah. Now, but there may be a way to do that, but I don't think it's as easy.
no, I think,
No, and I can still
honestly,
pose
I
that
think
question
to
too.
knock on the door to the landowner and say, if you don't wanna put a berm, dig a ditch up here to move this water, we are gonna put a berm at the end of your driveway.
Right, right.
And you know-
Yeah, and then, yeah, I know, yeah, but then
I mean.
he snow plows it off, and then you're right back where you
You're
were.
not gonna snow plow it off, it's gonna be gravel, it'll freeze right down just like your driveway's now.
We'll see, I think my tractor, I can move it.
We don't have your tractor, you'll be alright.
It's just, you don't wanna get into one of those battles where you're just chasing, you could need a permanent remedy if you can come up.
And no one knows.
But that's what I
if
think, if you
yeah.
talk to the landowner,
Right,
they may be there.
yeah.
He might be open.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But we've had people
Sure.
in here who they have water coming onto their property now, and if they could stop it, they would. But it's been coming onto their property so long that they don't have any jurisdiction, they can't do anything about it. So I know these things can get clunky.
But I think that's the only thing where this is, even though it's a new landowner, it's a new situation. This didn't,
Correct.
it just happened last year. It's
Oh,
not really,
I can reach out to him, he does seem like a nice guy. He's
He may want it fixed as badly
Yeah.
as you do.
Right,
He's
I'm
come into the town
sure.
office a few times.
He
I mean,
has-
it's still running right now. I mean, you could easily set up there with a small machine and redirect that water.
Now, when you redirect it, it's gonna end up on his lawns, right?
Well, it depends on how you do it, because before he bought it, when I said something this fall,
Yeah,
there was so much water up there, I walked up there and looked. The whole length of that lot,
Yeah.
there was like 2 or 3 inches of water.
Behind the
Behind-
trailer.
Yes, it was unreal. It's all, it comes off that hill and it's just a big pool up there. So I mean,
Wow.
if it was mine, I think I would behind the
Yeah, yeah,
trailer.
put a berm up there.
I would knock through it and make it
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
all go that other way, but,
Right, right.
which would be way better for him anyway.
Yeah,
because
then
it
it'd
is
be
so bad.
totally behind his house, yeah.
But I
And it
mean,
might be an improvement that he would like, that the town would help pay for.
if we could,
I'll look into it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, a temporary quicks just to get through the winter and to find a better solution in the fall that work for everybody.
What about the road currently? Do we need to have it marked? Should we
Oh,
have?
there ought to be something up for something, it is bad.
So
I don't
cones,
even drive on this
something,
side of the road.
Okay,
barrels?
Everybody's going to the other side.
I mean,
'cause
Chris might
that's-
be able to
yeah,
kinda keep an eye on them and make sure they,
But after this weekend, with all the rain, it's gonna be 40s and 50s and 40s all next week.
yeah, and
There's
then
a
it's
chance
gonna,
that might
yeah,
far out a little bit.
so you can do a little bit of work.
cause this condition now is official. And if we mark it, our liability is
Yeah.
virtually nil.
Right.
Yeah, so it would be marked tomorrow.
Well, that's
plan.
what I'm afraid of. I mean, it's bad enough. I'm waiting to see somebody off the road right there.
Hey,
Alright, anything else on roads?
does it drop off the other side? Across the street, it drops down, right? Okay, it's not flat.
As long as you miss one of the big trees.
Oh,
It's on its way to Center Pond.
Yep. Which is way full.
Anything more on roads?
Um, 63-year-old male is fallen with vaccine. Again, what's your request is 2260 Dexter Road, near Dover. 63-year-old male is fallen with vaccine. Around 1637.
Select board concerns? Any?
none.
None? Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
Third.
We are adjourned. It is 20 minutes of 5.
Good.